Hey y'all. So, 7:30, well, a little bit after 7:30 on a Wednesday night. So you know what time it is. It's sugar time. Yes. It's the Natalie SUGAR Brown show where me, Natalie SUGAR Brown, woman boxer, sits here and we just talk the talk about women's boxing. This is my platform that I come to share those insights of an authentic woman boxer's perspective and experiences of the industry of women's boxing. We talk to talk about what had happened, what has happened, and what is happening right now. So, hey, how you doing? Um, hopefully everyone starts chiming in soon because I mean, depending on what time of the what part of the world you are, this might be an exciting time. I know in the States it's turkey time. So, seeing it that, a lot of people, a lot of my audience, a lot of my peeps might be out there trying to get ready for that Thanksgiving. So we may not have uh, it we might not have as much time as we usually have to sit here and shoot the stuff, and talk. Michael Orr chimes in already. Already? Okay. Hello, Sugar. Hello, Mike. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for coming to see me. Okay, so tonight's episode, and I mean this is the thing about it, right? There are times that I do have props and whatever, but tonight is a chat night. We're going to chat it up, right? Tonight's episode is called Women's Boxing and the Bullsh. Okay, the business and women's boxing business and Bullsh. Yes, we got to talk about it. Why we got to talk about it? Because you guys, what and y'all see me on here looking cray cray. Why y'all ain't telling Sugar she need to do something with her hair? She ain't gonna do it anyway. Like it's just been that type of year, okay? It's just been that type of year. Okay, so take me as I am. But so I got somebody chiming in. NUMJ4. How do you say it? NUMJ4. Hey, is this live? You for damn sure it's live. Huh? Thanks for chiming in to the Sugar Show. Yeah, it's live. We're talking about women's boxing on this live. You don't have to know about it. You don't have to know too much about it. But this is a platform that we talk about it. So ask me anything, right? Talk the talk. If you're curious, I'm the one that will answer your question, your burning questions about women behaving badly in the boxing ring. I gotta keep it PG, y'all. It's YouTube and it's Talkin Fight. And my guys at Talkin Fight, the thing about my guys at Talkin Fight is they know Sugar's a bad girl. Um, but they let me stray beyond the border sometimes. So NUMJ4 comes in and says, "Why did my girlfriend cheat on me?" With the perplexed face. Well, I'm going to entertain your question, okay? Because I think I may have some insight in being I have been a girlfriend before. And I mean, I'm not a cheater by no means. Like if I'm getting bored with you, or if the thing ain't pleasing me no more, I'll cut it short and save us the trouble. But why your girlfriend cheated is because she's a punk ass. Yeah, Punks cheat in everything. That's why, that's why I have this show, right? Because the show, the Natalie Sugar Brown show, is a show that highlights all the punk shit that happens in women's boxing, the industry and the sport I love so much. And I want to highlight and I want to shine a light on that punk schnizzit, because there's too many real ones out here that do the work, that are willing to do the work and be good, right? And be honest. And what you need to do is you need to find a girl that is brave enough and strong enough to be good to you and to be honest with you, right? And to give you that love that you need and deserve, right? Because if you out here looking for a girlfriend, I suppose you're going to be a good boyfriend or whatever. I'm not sure if you're a boy or a girl, but you're going to be that good person to her, because I know you're looking for that gal. And you being good to her would make her want to be good to you. Now, NUMJ4 says, I thought we had something special and we shared everything for years, in fact. But now I'm stronger than ever. And I'm gonna tell you this too, right? Sugar's a fighter. At the end of the day, Sugar's a fighter. Okay. And I equate everything that I've gone through in my life to that fight. And love, among some other things, but love among the top 5 things in your life is a fight. And it's a fight that you're not going to always win. Okay? But the fight in love is to always give it your best shot. Okay? You're going to take some shots and it's going to hurt, right? Because anything good uh, don't really come easy, right? If it comes easy, be willing to stick with it, because I mean, sugar tries to be easy. Sugar tries to be easy, right? And sugar tries to get and give, in any relationship, because it's a give and take. It is a fight, right? But you are going to be stronger whether you win or lose that fight when it comes to love, right? Because styles make fights, and you're going to learn the style that suits you and how to love. Okay, and that's what I've come to understand as a fighter, and that's how I've connected love with who I am as a fighter, right? It doesn't always work out, right? But in every situation, and every fight ain't the same. But what you can control is what you give, right? And if you do your very best in that ring when it comes to love, you can leave it all there when it's over. Even if that person walks away or if you walk away, when it's over, pat yourself on the chest and say, I did my best, and move on the best you can. Um, oh, we having a chat. Okay. NUMJ4 says, good to hear that everyone should be a fighter. Well, everyone is a fighter, right? Um, don't don't sleep on what fight means. Fight ain't a bad thing. Fight ain't necessarily a good thing. Fight just is. Okay? And that's what I've come to realize and understand, right? It, it's a fight. It's a fight to be you. It's a fight to live the life that you want to live. It's a fight to get what you want out of this thing. Okay? And it could be an easy fight sometimes. It could be a hard fight sometimes, but you're still fighting. And you got to be smart in that fight. Um, And UMJ says, I'm just scared that I can't trust any woman anymore. Do you have any tips for that? And I'm sorry, I ain't trying to make this a therapy session. Okay, so this is the thing about, this is the thing, and UMJ. You can't let one experience ruin you for the goodness to come. I am sure that you've learned some lessons in this last in the past 4 years you had with homegirl. Okay? And she cheated and that was on her. That had nothing to do with you. She decided to cheat. Okay? And sometimes they cheat because they think the grass is greener. So I think if you did your thing and if you was a good uh boyfriend or girlfriend to her, they be back. They always come back when it's good. Okay? And if you don't hear from them, charge it to the game. But don't be scared. Don't be scared to move on. Don't be scared because it's not trusting any other woman, baby. It's trusting yourself. You got to trust yourself in the next relationship that you have. Okay? And trust in yourself in knowing that you're choosing what you can manage and what you can handle. Okay? So I'm not saying don't be scared and go willy-nilly and jump 2 feet in it. What I'm saying is don't be scared, be cautious. Be a bit more cautious next time. Okay? Think about what you're doing. Think about what you want. Right? I believe in the universe. And I believe that things don't work out for a greater and good reason. Maybe she just wasn't the gal for you because the gal for you out there is better than this one. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up about this. Huh? You get to fight another round. Okay? So, yeah, sometimes um sometimes conversations, whether it be about boxing or anything else, like it ain't it's therapy, right? I'm here to talk about women's boxing, but I'm women's boxing also has something to do with this type of struggle because as a woman boxer I've had the same thing. I've been through the same thing and still had to train and win, right? And still had to go through the 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 stuff that I had to go through in women's boxing. Okay, so you chiming in and bringing this to the table gives me the opportunity to enlighten everyone about this real shit right here. Okay, this is the real, right? I didn't just box and I wasn't just a fighter, but I was a woman and I tried this love thing too, and I'm trying it, right? And I have some insight to give people who want to try this love fight. Okay, I could be a good coach. I think. Um, NUMJ4 says, kind of funny that I'm from Finland and I'm hearing very thoughtful things from you at 3 a.m. Oh, well, some great and good and fun things happen at 3 a.m. So I'm just glad that over in Finland, you take the time to have some sugar tonight or this morning. Okay, and I'm going to always be here at this time for you. Okay, so chime in, baby. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad I can give you some thoughtful things for you to consider and for you to take with you in your journey over there in Finland. Hopefully one day Sugar can come over there and we can sit down and have a chat eye to eye um, about some more things. Um, NUMJ4 says we can chat if a bit if you want. Okay. NUMJ4 says I blocked her everywhere because I got exhausted from all the meaningless apologies. And UMJ4 also says, why isn't women boxing as big as the male here in Finland? There is like max 50 women boxers in the whole country. And UMJ4 also says, you need more people to hear your thoughts. You are very amusing. Well, thank you, NUMJ4. Thank you. I need you to share this, sugar. Like my show and share it. Share it. Talk to your friends about it. We can listen. It's a party, right? So we can have a party at 3 a.m. over there. Talk to your friends over there in Finland so we could get it together. Why isn't women boxing as big as the male there in Finland? I don't know, because I fought a girl out of Finland, and she was a good fighter. She was a very impressive fighter. And I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but I really thought she was going to go back and be a superstar over there, because y'all, I'll tell you this, y'all got some tough broads over there. She was pretty too. I'm not even going to lie. She had the flowy blonde hair, and she was in some good shape. Y'all sent over a good one, but I had to, you know what? I had to deal with her in the sweetest sugar way I could. Okay, so she didn't win, but yeah, Finland gets mad love from me. Michael Orr, Talking Fight, chimes in and says, share, share, share. Yeah, I got to remember. I got to remind y'all to like, subscribe, and share. NUMJ4 says, I'm pretty sure you got her. Yes, I did. That's one thing you know. You know about some boxing, right? Bet on sugar. um and UMJ4. Ha ha ha, knew it. Okay. And Michael Orr says she's ranked 44th out of 154 in the world. Who you talking about? Me, Michael? I'm at 44. Man, I remember them days I was up there in the top 10. So listen, sugar's an oh man, Michael Orr ain't talking about me. Michael Orr, who you talking about ranked 44th out of 154 in the world? I'm an old crone now. My bones are soft. My skin has gotten soft. So I don't behave as badly as I used to. But I am quite tempted to dust off the gloves sometimes and call my old coach so we can get back and start bullying again. NUMJ4 says, I just started Muay Thai. I'm too slow with the big gloves. Listen, the worst thing you could do is judge yourself when you first start something. Right? You gotta be on your team. Believe in yourself. Yes, you too damn slow with them big gloves, but you think you're gonna be too slow forever? No, your body's gonna get used to them big gloves. And I'm excited to hear about what your Muay Thai journey will be after that. Keep going. Okay. If I got discouraged from when I was too slow and when I didn't know anything, I wouldn't be the sugar right here today. And I love being sugar. Okay. Um Michael Orr says Lada Luikanen. So who is Lada Luikanen, Michael Orr? She's the number one pound for pound from Finland. Okay. How many fights she had? And UMJ4. So you got Michael Orr says you're number one pound for pound broad. The baddest chick in Finland's name is Lata Liukanen. Liokkanen. So y'all got some broads behaving badly over there. Okay, I check them out. You know, say see what you got going on over there, and bring some of them facts to the table. Hey, Sugar, Trifine Scott chimes in. Hey, Trifine. Hey, so we got some feminine energy up in here, and I like it. Okay, yes. Thanks for chiming in, Boo Boo. Good to see you. Michael Orr says, I did Muay Thai for over 10 years. Those big gloves make your hands real fast. Yup. Michael Orr said it because, listen, y'all, it's a science to it. Even as a fighter, right? There are 16-ounce gloves, which is equivalent to a pound. Then you got 14-ounce gloves, okay? Then you got 12-ounce gloves. Then you got 10-ounce gloves. Then you got 8-ounce gloves. And then if you want to get real freaky in there, you get the 6-ounce gloves. Or sometimes you just get the knuckle rubbers. That's just the glove. Yeah. So those are the tools in the toolbox. And I've owned those tools in the toolbox. And you know, those big gloves work when you want to get you know what I'm saying, when you want to get some muscle and strength behind and endurance in your punches and in the mechanics of those punches. 16-ounce gloves aren't good for dexterity, meaning, you know, you're not going to get precise shots into the points. Those things are for really building strength and putting weight in your shots, okay? And then we're going to go down to the 14-ounce. So the 14-ounce gloves is like the all-weather tire. I mean, you got a little bit of the weight, being that it's 14 ounces, okay? And then you can add a bit of speed there. The make of it is a bit more streamlined, so you can add some accuracy, okay? But you're not going to be, then them shots ain't going to be flying, okay? Now, when you get down to 12 ounce, okay, now we're going to start cooking, because now those 12 ounce helps you build dexterity, precision, and endurance in throwing your combinations. Yeah, so we ain't doing one punch at a time. Okay? Once you as you start learning to fight, one punch ain't going to hit it, right? It's just like how my uncle, I told y'all about the skillet, right? So one punch ain't the skillet. Okay? Right? You got to put your hands together. Combinations. So when you start training combos, okay, and a lot of these fighters out here don't know this, right? They skip in steps. When you get to 12 ounce, now you're building your combination punching. Okay, so you got the weight on it. You know, you got the weight on your hands. Then it's more streamlined for precision, okay, and dexterity. And now, you know, it's also, now you can put a little bit more endurance, because now you're able to do multiple movements, because the gloves aren't as cumbersome as the larger gloves, okay? Then we get down to the 10 ounce. Now, this is the thing about 10 ounce. 10 ounce is when you're getting closer to fight time. Okay, you don't want to train, or you don't want to be training with practice gloves the closer you get to fight time. So you pull out them 10 joints, okay? So them 10 calibers, right? Because these is, you know, they don't call them guns for no reason, right? So them 10 calibers, them 10 ounce joints, 10 ounce gloves, is when you're getting closer to fight time. and now you need more precision. Now you're working on your speed. Now the combos need to start manifesting more and more often. Okay. And now, you know, it's getting closer to go time. The heavier weights actually, so I think from 147 up, fight with 10-ounce gloves. They fight with 10-ounce gloves, right? So on up from, I think 147, it might be 154 on up, they actually fight with 10-ounce gloves in the amateurs and the pros, right? Because it's now a matter of also protecting what you got going on through the muscles and the bones and the ligaments of the most important thing a fighter has, which are their hands. Okay, you seen Sugar's hands? My nails ain't even right. My nails ain't looking right nowadays. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the chat, right? But as I go down, I'm gonna finish up with this, with the science, dropping the jewels and dropping the science on what these ounces, what these caliber for these gloves mean, right? Because a lot of people out here don't know shit about boxing, right? And I got to spit this game for y'all because I've been hearing that I'm a pretty face out here, but I'm not just a pretty face. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad broad, right? And I like to behave badly. And I've done it most of my life, and I've used the tools, and I know what it is. I'm a mechanic out this thing. Okay, so if you want to learn to bully and behave badly, Sugar will help you out. I got some tricks up my sleeve, right? And I got some goodies in my goodie bag. So yeah. Now, when you get down to the 8-ounce, close to fight time, yes. Now we're not sparring in 8-ounce. We spar. And I'm going to say this out there to all of y'all out there. If you do not spar in gloves lighter than 14 ounces, right? I'm saying that. If you get in the ring and people talking about, yeah, let's spar, you look right at they damn gloves. Because a lot of these people out here want to hurt people and they're up to shenanigans, right? So you say, yeah, we'll spar. Let me see what gloves you wearing. You look at that. If they got less than 14 ounces on their hands, it's a no-go, right? Because you're not going to rattle my brain just for practice, right? We're going to get in there and it's going to be rough and tumble and we're going to bully. And yes, people going to get hurt, but you're not going to hurt me by not wearing the proper gloves and not wearing the proper, of course we wear headgear, and your headgear has to be protect all the good elements of what's going on here, especially when it's getting close to fight time, because no one wants to get cut in sparring, right? Especially getting closer to the fight. You get cut in camp, right? It takes about 3 to 4 months for a cut, especially a cut gotten in sparring or some kind of bludgeon effect. It takes about 3 months for it to totally heal, where it's not going to re-break if you have some kind of if you have some kind of impact to it. But a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know what's going on. You get busted up, you start bleeding, your nose start bleeding, and this is sparring. That means you got some trauma. That means something done got ripped up all in here. It takes at least 2 months for that to heal. and get right for you to get back in there and not have some real trauma after that, right? So a lot of people get in there and they get smacked or beat around in there, bloody and bruised up and beaten and swole up, and then they come back the following week and think that they all heal and whole. No, it doesn't work like that, right? You are not an ex-man and you are not an ex-woman. You got to give your body time enough to heal. Otherwise, that wound is going to be looming. And especially if you're getting ready for a fight, that wound is going to stick with you until fight time, where the 8-ounce gloves show up. Okay. And so, with these 8-ounce gloves, now, you're not sparring with 8-ounce gloves. And you're not really hitting pads with 8-ounce gloves like that. Why? Because now the trauma, right? The trauma reflects back onto you as the fighter. Okay? You don't have that protection of the impact of punching, because you're essentially, when you're punching, you're essentially um you're essentially putting your body weight, okay? You're essentially putting the force of your body weight plus the momentum of that behind each shot. And 8 ounces of padding is not enough to absorb that or to protect these little bones, knuckles, and ligaments that are in your hand. So doing all that work and hitting the bag and all of that with 8-ounce gloves ain't as healthy as you might think. Right? So there's a rhyme and a reason, right? There's a method to the madness. Them 8-ounce gloves is just to see how sharp you are. Okay, and it's just it's not for the long haul, right? Them 8-ounce gloves is just to see if okay, now am I turning shots together? And you're not really going hard with 8-ounce gloves unless you're in that boxing ring, okay? And I'm telling you, it makes a difference, right? When you hit somebody upside this, when you hit somebody on bone, when you're hitting somebody on bone, you feel it through the glove. It ain't no joke. And when you're getting hit with 8 ounces, it ain't no joke. Ain't no padding, right? Right? It's like getting, these are stones. These are like stones and rocks, right? Especially when they're wrapped and taped up, right? I think it was Margarito who got in trouble years ago because his trainer used to put the gauze and wrap his hands so much with that tape and gauze that it actually became like a cast. And they slid it in that 8-ounce glove. So it wasn't the fact that he was hitting people hard, it was that he had literally casts on his hands in those gloves, and he was hurting people. Okay, so I think he got suspended from boxing indefinitely for doing that, right? That's kind of like the old slimy thing, like old school. We don't hear these stories anymore, but old back in the day when it was really unsanctioned for men, not to mention women, they talk about that roll of quarters, roll of dimes that they used to put on the fighter's knuckles and wrap the hand. And then the fighter would go in there and fight. So these are the things that happen, right? This ain't no made up stuff and these ain't no stories. These are things that happen in boxing. And they still happened in women's boxing because receipts haven't been checked. Receipts still aren't checked in women's boxing. There's still some unsanctioned bullshit going on in women's boxing. And that's why I am just thoroughly grateful to my guys at Talkin Fight for giving me this platform to shine the light on that stuff, right? Because, yes, women boxing is cute now and it's in style and it's fun and it's sexy, but that shit is real, real dangerous. Okay? And you got to respect us women that do it. You got to respect us women that do it and are real with it and are good at it. Um, yeah, so and then you go down to the 6 ounces, which is very close to bare knuckle. So 6 ounce, just be careful with that. You sign up or you have those or them knuckle rubbers. That means 6 ounces. I'm trying to bust you out up. I'm trying to bust your face. I'm trying to cut you up. Them knuckle rubbers. Yeah, I'm trying to break bones and stuff, right? Because there's no padding now, right? And I'm gonna break skin and I'm gonna bust your face open. And if you don't stop the fight, I'm gonna stop you. And if I don't stop you, your body's gonna stop you. And that's the and really that's the realness of fighting. Um, so let me go back because there's been quite a lot going on in my chat. Okay. Um, NUM4 says, I meant Muay Thai gloves are much better and lighter than boxing gloves. I mean, it's a different fit for sure. Muay Thai gloves may be different because Muay Thai fighters use their legs and feet, right? We don't use legs and feet. Muay Thai boxers don't really box as much. They get to hold and grab and kick. So they focus more on that. It's very rare that you see them actually box. And so that's why. Eddie Barrington says, Sugar, fam it up. What's up, Eddie Barrington? Long time no see, boo boo. Thank you for chiming in. Yes, I'm here, and I'm happy to see your face in the place. Mwah. And you shared, you liked, and you shared. Ooh, ah. You being real good to me tonight, and I like it. And UMJ4 says, what is the best gloves to start with? We're thinking to start sparring with our friends. Well, I mean, I just gave you the rundown, baby. So I would say the best gloves to start with is start with them 14 ounces, especially when you want to spar with people who are not. Um, start with 16 to 14 ounces. The least experience you have, the higher the weight of the glove. So if you don't really have experience getting hit or whatever like that, put them 16-ounce Johns on. Okay, put them big there so it's padded and more so it feels like you getting into a real serious pillow fight, right? You don't want to hurt nobody just yet. Okay. NUMJ4 says, does ounce mean the weight or the size? The ounce is the weight of the glove. The sizes and the shapes vary. Okay, so there are some good brands out there nowadays that you can choose from. Google, right? Google and see and start doing some homework and start finding some stuff that may work for you. Okay. Um, Host says ounce means weight. Thank you, host, for chiming in. NUMJ4 says, can you tell the guy/girl who has trained Muay Thai for 10 years to message me on IG? NUMJAGRAPHY. I would love to have some good tips. Well, there you have it. Hey, uh, anybody out there who trained Muay Thai for 10 years or so, please holla at my boo over there in England. Okay? He's up at 3 a.m. So that means he's serious about this. Holla at him on Instagram at NUMJAGRAPHY. And that's it. I'm not going to plug nobody else. Good luck with that, though, babe. Michael Orr says, I got your message at NUMJ4. Okay. Um, about my father's business. Hey, thanks for chiming in. Look at you coming to see me. Huh? Thank you for checking in. Uh, about my father's business said, what's up, Nat? Listen, you know that. Listen, if you know me, you say you know me, but you know I hate being called Nat. Don't call me that. I don't know why, but ever since you want to fight, ever since I was young, just call me Nat, cause I ain't no Nat. Thank you though. Thanks for it's a term of endearment, but I just don't appreciate it. Um Talkin Fight says at NUMJ4, Mike got your message. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, Podbeam, and talkinfight.com. Okay, so listen, we get some connections is being made. Is that what's going on the Sugar Show? Okay. I'm glad I can make the connect, okay? NUMJ4 sound like he's starting to be a part of the fam. All right. Y'all see all the misfits are chiming in, and we got a new one. So thank you. My host says Muay Thai is the art of 8 limbs: elbows, knees, shins, and fists. Okay, so that sound like, yeah, that Muay Thai, they take that to and the kitchen sink if you're not looking, right? I my homeboy Simon, I forgot his last name, but my homeboy Simon out of Toronto is a great Muay Thai fighter, very humble guy, and just a good guy. You would never think he was such a bad mother in that ring. Simon Mancuso, something like that. Um, but that's a bad man, right there. So speaking of Muay Thai, check him out. Um, about my father's business says 16-ounce chest, 14-ounce checkers. You know what? That was kind of sexy. Yeah, you're right about that. 16 ounce. 16 ounce, you playing chess, right? Because it's that one move. And that one move gotta be the move, right? 14 ounces checkers. Boom, 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 boom. Right? So that means I know what I'm talking about out here, because about my father's business, I don't know if you chimed in, but I was breaking it down. You be proud of your girl. Okay? Eddie Barrington says Finland. Yeah. Um, we got people over there. My host chimes in and says Ultimate Martial Arts was the baddest Thai gym in Toronto. Okay. So we're going to shout them out there too. Ultimate Martial Arts, right? Let's hope when I come back there, y'all let me visit, because I'm showing y'all love on my show. Okay, so hopefully y'all show some Sugar some love when I stop by in Toronto. Okay, but okay, so we want to talk about this show. I veered right off, but it was good. It's been 44 minutes, right? I veered off, but I'm come back to a couple points that I wanted to make in the show. The host says that's where Mike Orr trained. Oh, and taught. You talking about sexy Mike Orr with the beard? Yeah. He used to train. What time? Do he do he still train it? What times is the classes? Yeah, I definitely stop by. Y'all know I have a crush on Mike. It's like y'all think I'm playing, but it's a thing. um Host says yes, and Host says he does house calls. Oh shoot. Okay. Um, I think I might have to sign up. Stop it. You taking me down that rabbit hole, okay? You taking me there, and it's I'm about to get naughty, and y'all know Sugar like to get naughty, and we this is YouTube. I don't want to get kicked off of here. Um Yo, my guys on Talking Fight, they wild tonight. Just let you know that the private chat is litty too. Okay. All right. So I gotta I like tonight's show. I try not to get involved in the bullshit of the business of women's boxing, because y'all know I always say I stay loyal to the truth. I believe in the karma of the business, but bad and good, so I try to be that balance, um in the game. I don't really choose sides, but my side is always the truth. Okay. About my father's business chimes in. Never seen this naughty side of you back in the day. And you laughing. Ooh. Well, Sugar's all grown up now. Um, you might want to try some of this naughty sugar. Yeah, this ain't back in the day. Sugar got some stuff. Sugar done learned some fun stuff, some good stuff. Stop it. Stop. Right? Anyway, and I'm talking about as a boxer. We not listen. Take it how you want. Take it how you want. Because I'm good regardless. Um, yeah, so like I said, I try not to be choose sides or whatever, because the business of boxing, especially women's boxing, uh, is a karmatic business, meaning that what goes around comes around, and also you gotta sometimes you just gotta let things play out. Okay, but I have to talk about this. Okay, um out there in the women's boxing world, this has come up, and I chose this because we've talked about this on several different occasions of the Sugar Show. Okay, where these broads out here are buying belts, right? Belts in women's boxing. Very rarely a belt is won. The belts are bought. Okay. Very rarely the badasses and the real baddies who deserve these titles and the belts actually get and have these belts, right? It's a money thing. It's a money game. So the new preposterous stuff that's going on is, there's a fighter out here who is, from what I understand, 4-0, 4 wins, 0 losses. And y'all know what I say about some sub 10 fighters, right? Sub 10, bitch, please. You ain't even had 10 fights and you supposed to be what? We'll see. Right? So she got the nerve to be 4-0. Okay. Now, this is she's 4-0 and she's fighting for the WBA world title. You barely you barely got your feet wet, right? They just put the tip in. All right, let me stop. And now you a porn star. Stop. Let me stop. It's getting real bad. Y'all stop. Pull me back. Pull me back in. But seriously, you only mixed it up 4 real times that we know of. And you going for a title? Have a seat. Sit your ass down somewhere. And apparently this fighter is not even ranked. 4-0 and fighting for a WBA world title. And the WBA, remember, I've check out y'all who are just chiming in now, right? Check out Sugar's old shows, right? You may find the like you it's a learning thing, right? I went over belts and bodies, right? And the WBA is one of those belts, right? It's supposed to be a belt, and they're entertaining the idea of a woman fighter who has less than 10 fights fighting for a world title. There's so many contenders out here who are legitimate, and they allow someone who has less than 10 fights to fight for a world title. That makes me wonder about the authenticity and the value and the prestige of this WBA title, right? Because 4-0 is some bullshit. It really makes me like this is the thing that makes me really feel like I can just dust the gloves back off and jump in, win a title, and jump back out. Right? There are lions, tigers, and mother sucking bears out here. And you, Goldilocks, gonna bring your ass to the top seat? That means you're not scared of nothing. You're not scared. You must not have any intention on fighting any real fighters out here. Because if you go for a world title, baby, that red dot is on your ass. Right? You're supposed to be a world champion. So you need to be fighting broads and crones and baddies that are top rate contenders and top quality contenders. I'm not sure if you can weather that storm with only 4 fights, but the WBA is entertaining it. Cedric Sports, hey Ceddy, chiming in. Good evening, Sugar. Just checking in with you, champ. Thank you, Ceddy. I love to be checked by you too. Thank you, Ceddy. How you doing over there in Windsor? Right? I know it's pretty cold over there now. Right? I hope you got you all warm and snuggly, and I hope you got some good things going on over there, General Seti, in boxing, right? I'm glad that you're checking in. I'm honored. Thank you. But yeah, these are the things that need to be considered. Laura Ramsey, hey Brown Sugar, Laura, listen, don't you can not don't just knock my brown ass over with a feather now. Knock me over with a damn feather. Y'all know who is in the building right now? Laura Ramsey. Laura Ramsey. A real champ out here. A real broad, a real crone that did it out here. What you talking about? Shit done got real. Laura, thank you. I am so honored that you've come on my platform. Um, Laura Ramsey is a fighter, is an old fighter. And she's not old fight, but she don't fight no more. But had that thunder clap back in the day too. Laura Ramsey was slumping broads in her day. Um, Great fighter. Banger, straight up banger. You could stand in front of her if you want to, but not for long. Host comes in with the numbers, but right, because we gotta talk about we gotta talk about this one. She for chiming in. 11 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. Okay, and that's not sugar coated. Okay. So and with 6 KOs, that ain't no sugar coated. That's real, right? She ain't had no help. She did that shit by herself, right? These are wins. These are real wins. These are real losses. These are real. Okay. Um, I would love if Laura was out nowadays, because Laura, well, I mean, I would have loved to see Clarissa Shields versus Laura Ramsey, right? Because we can't call her the GWAT yet when there was greats out there like Laura Ramsey who had that thunderclap, right? Laura Ramsey was not pity patting, right? Laura Ramsey was stopping hoes out here. um, that we gonna see my my host is coming in, and you know what I want is when my champs and when my people when my fellow um crones and misfits and women who have behaved badly chime in, like impromptu. We can send them a link, and if they want to they can chat, but I don't want to catch nobody off guard, right? But Laura, I would love for you to come back on the show when you're ready, so we can, like, whenever you're ready to, so we could just have that one-on-one talk, that impromptu talk, so we could talk about Taz out here. Laura Ramsey is not only like this. Is why I love this. This is why I love this broad, this crone, this baddie, because she gives back. Okay, she trains fighters, men and women. She got a baddie out here who's out, Taz Brown, who's out here, and she looking uh like Taz ain't playing around out here, and I know Taz ain't playing because Taz got a real one training her ass, right? And we got to give respect. There's generals out here, these guy generals, but when you got a when you have a real woman warrior that turned back around and is training another woman warrior, that's some real shit right there. So um I hats off to you. About my father's business comes in. What do you think is right behind Clarissa Shields? What do you mean? What do you about my father's business? Can you clarify that question where you said, "What do you think is right behind Clarissa Shields?" Laura Ramsey chimes back in. That's why we are ABO and IBC Women's Boxing Championship Series in Mexico as a stair step to world titles on March 18th. So there you have it. That's what's going on. um the ABO, I got a Juan with the ABO. I got to give my man Juan with the this sanctioning body. He's coming out, he's trying to be as fair as he can be with this sanctioning ABO body. I'm not familiar with the IBC, but you know what I'm saying. Laura, if you gunning for that, I support y'all with that too, right? And there's a women boxing championship go on. I suppose this is in the pro game, because we talking pros. This is happening in Mexico, okay? And apparently this is just, you know, a stepping stone to get in that arena for that world title contention. Okay, this is going down March 18th, so this is in that 2023. All right. Host says Lady Ram in the house, and that's for damn sure. Thank you, Lady Laura Ramsey, for stopping in. Mwah. um yeah, so I mean, I've been trying to talk about this thing. I've been trying to talk about this. Okay, so we talking about this 4-0 broad going for the uh WBA world title. And I don't think this broad know what she's signing up for. And the WBA look like they just want to get paid, especially in this weight class, because it would have to be a weak ass weight class for them to even allow this to happen. Right? So somebody they ain't making no money in a division, and they want that somebody's willing to pay that couple $1,000s to hold that belt. So at the end of the day, if you're going to if you're letting them do this type of business, they're going to do this type of business. But what we want to do is, this is an item on a receipt that don't add up, right? This shit don't add up. About my father's business says, meaning who is basically the number 2 in women boxing if Clarissa Shields wasn't the GOAT. So this is my take on Clarissa Shields about my father's business. Clarissa Shields is a good fighter who is great because of her timing. I don't think Clarissa Shields would be as I don't think she would be as exceptional as she proves to be right now if she came up in an earlier era, because the talent pool is very shallow right now. The talent pool is very shallow. Meaning that there's so much politics, and there's so much there's so much how can I say ignorance in the making of these women's boxers now that cheapens the pool. Okay, so any big burly broad or any thickum bitch that walks in a gym nowadays who looks like she could be around 154 right on up to 178. Oh, we want to train you to fight Clarissa Shields. She may not have any background experience. She may not have nothing, right? But then you got people like these coaches who wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a woman boxing trainer, right? Don't know shit about boxing, especially don't know nothing about training a woman boxer. And they're accepted in the women's game because all we want is someone to pay attention to us. All we want is somebody to take us seriously. Now, back in the day when Sugar was coming up, your ass better be serious if you find yourself in a women's boxing gym, because these men don't have time. And your ass better show them why they need to waste their time training you, right? Ain't nobody was running to us, right? We had to be there bright and early. We had to be there, be the ones leaving late. We had to do extra to prove that we could do it. Okay? So the talent pool is shallow now because all punks are being entertained, everything. Right? And I call them punks because a lot of these broads show up because they want attention. right? They're willing to go in there for a little pity pat scrap. Back in the day when sugar was coming up, right? We were getting in there, we were sparring men. And some of these men didn't like the idea of us being in there, right? So they were going to try to hurt us and make us decide that this wasn't for us. This is not for us. Okay, if you didn't have that protection, if you didn't have that moxie in you, that fight in you, you weren't going to last. They don't make them like that no more. Okay? They just don't. Um so she Clarissa Shields is head and shoulders above the rest of them because women boxers are just not being developed properly. So second behind her doesn't exist. She hasn't come yet. And the politics won't allow the light to shine on this broad yet, right? Because there are some bad bitches out here that can fight, that will fight. That'll hurt Clarissa, okay? Um, because Clarissa don't have all the answers. Clarissa can fight. She could fight her ass off. But she don't have the answers, and she human just like the rest of them. She can get touched. She can get hurt. Okay? It's just that these women fighters need some seasoning. These women fighters need to be developed. A lot of these women fighters need to set their ass down and really understand what they're getting themselves into. Um, so the Clarissa Shields gwat talk, she can't be the gwat ever until she does what those who paved the way for her did. Right? You can't be a gwat if you're only fighting for 2 minutes at a time, baby girl. I believe that you would be a good 3-minute fighter, but you're not even hurting. You're not hurting anybody enough to stand in there for 3 minutes. And I'm gonna tell you this, Clarissa. I'm gonna tell. I love you, Clarissa. I'm. You just don't even know, right? I am so proud of what you've done for women's boxing and in women's boxing. But the truth is the truth, and Sugar is loyal and will always be loyal to the truth. You weren't going to stick around if that fight between you and Savannah Marshall was 3-minute rounds. You wouldn't have been able to stand in there. I'm not sure. I think you would win. I think you would win because of the politics of it, because of who you are and what your knowledge is. You may be able to win, but also on the flip side of the coin, I think Savannah Marshall would have had the same type of opportunity that happened when was it who was it Muhammad Ali who fought that fighter who was way heavier than him, and he ended up getting dropped and really beat up badly because the guy was just way too big for him. I forgot the name of that. This is men's boxing. Also, another notable fight that would fall into the same kind of conversation in boxing, as far as 2-minute rounds versus 3-minute rounds is when Sugar Ray Robinson went up to 178 pounds and fought that gentleman. Sugar Ray Robinson was obviously the better fighter, but he exhausted himself and ended up losing the fight because he was just not big enough to endure the terrain of that kind of fight, right? Because 2 minutes is a sprint, 3 minutes is a marathon. I don't think Clarissa Shields had enough ammunition to hold off a big gal, broad like Savannah Marshall for 3 minutes. And Clarissa Shields even admitted it. Savannah Marshall was hitting. And I saw the fight. Savannah Marshall was hurting Clarissa. So I seen some body shots. I seen Savannah touch Clarissa Shields' rib. Clarissa looked at her like, oh, that tickles. No, it didn't tickle, but Clarissa looked at her like, oh shit, that hurts. Right? So Marshall was putting her hands on Clarissa, but it wasn't, the fight just wasn't for Savannah Marshall in a sense that her attributes, which is she was the bigger fighter, she was the heavier hitter, right? She was the rangier fighter. So in order for Clarissa Shields would have had to do more work to beat Savannah Marshall in 3 minutes, where in 2 minutes Clarissa Shields can just, go out for 2 minutes and then go back and rest and recover and come back and the fight doesn't really wear down on her. You can't call yourself the GWAT if you ain't been in a fight. I have fought 3-minute rounds. When I first started in the amateurs, it was 3-minute rounds. I sparred 3-minute rounds, right? I didn't get an opportunity to fight a sanctioned 3-minute bout. But I would say I was more of a 3-minute round fighter myself, right? Because it's a different beast. It's a different terrain when you in there for 3 minutes. You can't bullshit. You can't, right? There's nowhere to hide in 3 minutes. There's nowhere to run in 3 minutes. So Katie Taylor, I'm sorry, hon, you couldn't exist right now where you are if there was women were fighting 3 minutes. Maybe Amanda Serrano, maybe, right? But it depends on who she's fought, because we all know that record is Paddington with Paddingment. Okay, so in women's boxing, don't believe the hype, right? You use the Natalie SUGAR Brown show as a platform to open your eyes to what you really need to look at in this game, because it's very interesting. It really is interesting, but it's not a superficial interesting, right? Our shit is deep, or our stuff, our history, the way we operate is deeper than, oh, she won, she lost, oh, 2 minutes. It's a deeper, there's a deeper understanding to what we do. I think that's why we're so interesting, right? And we look good doing it. My host says Clarissa Shields is ranked 8th on the pound for pound list on BoxRec. Listen, we're not going to bring BoxRec. Why talk to you? What I said to y'all about? Don't bring no Ring magazine. Don't bring no box right. Don't bring none of that shit. We supposed to be, and y'all been standing me up, Seti, Craig, Mike, um, Tim, Graham, my talking fight guys, right? We supposed to come up with our own pound for pound list, right? Let's do this, right? Because this box rec, everybody, hands are in everybody's pocket for these rankings. These rankings ain't real. They not real. Somebody paid for that spot on the ranking, right? I'm gonna put your girl on this ranking so my ranking list can get some attention and be popular. That's what's going on, right? People, I'm going to tell you, ain't nobody hands in sugar pocket. And it won't be. You want to know why? Because I worked too damn hard, and I know how hard it is to be a woman boxer. So I'm not going to take bribes, and I'm not doing that. I have to I have to keep it real out here. I have to. That's why I don't have guests and all of that stuff no more, because I don't want y'all to think that I have allegiance to any one person. When I tell you, I'm shooting straight from the hip. Okay? And I love I have people when I give you your props, it's props. Whether you love me or hate me, I got to give you your props in this game. Okay? That's how sugar works. My host also says ESPN has Shields ranked at second. So you see what I'm saying? Look at these rankings. One is at 8. One is at second. One is at there's just no continuity. There's no there is no common ground in any of this stuff. They're just throwing shit out there, right? Pound for pound, there are you wouldn't even know the broad who is actually pound for pound out here. That's how political it is, right? You wouldn't even know her name. That's what's going on out here. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about these commercial lists and Clarissa Shields or whatever, but she calls herself the Guat, and she's done some great things, but she's not the greatest woman of all time. She's not. She was born under a lucky star where she has the opportunity to get all the things that she has. And she has been successful in gaining all of those things, right? Because you still, at the end of the day, there's still an element of you got to be real. And she's real enough to win. And she's real enough to get all of this shit. Hats off to you, young broad. Aries Zodiac Boxing. Hey, sugar. You showed up. Hey, Aries. Hey, and gave me a wink and some flowers and some kisses. Ooh. Stop it now. You gonna say y'all gonna get me right back doing what I was doing earlier. Stop it, Aries. Right? It looked like you want to have some fun with sugar. And sugar want to have some fun too. Sugar like to have that fun. Especially with an Aries. Y'all are wild out there. Them Aries I'm telling you, they fiery. About my father's business said, understood. Do you think that's why she turned down sparring with Layla Ali? Who wants to spar with Layla Ali? Like, seriously. Layla's relevance is gone. Layla is not relevant anymore. Layla Ali is not relevant. And her only relevance was the fact that she was Muhammad Ali's daughter. She did not fight the people who she needed to fight, right? She was one who rode in on the surf, but she rode in on the surfboard of her daddy's name, and she got everything that she could and rode the hell out. She was not for women's boxing. She added, right? We needed the attention, and she brought money for that weight division into the game. But she was very stingy and selfish, right? She didn't open up her cards for any other females to be on the undercards. She didn't help women's boxing. She was just in it for self. So I really don't even like to talk about that broad. And to be honest, she was big, right? Layla Ali was big. She had skills. She was trained by good trainers, a good trainer. Uncle Roger trained her, right? And she knew a little bit about what she was doing in the ring there. But her relevance about sparring Layla Ali, I'm sorry. Nah. Layla Ali, go and do your thing, do your dancing with the stars and all of that stuff. You were cute when you was in it. Thank you for bringing some attention to what we did, and you were a good fighter, but um, this thing where people think that Layla Ali, um, you know, um, was a great, was one of our greats, and she was a trailblazer and all that bullshit. It didn't. That's really not what it was, right? Us, and I beat my chest. Us, the unknowns, the ones who traveled to different countries, the ones who made the team because we had to fight for our spot. We're the ones that made that shit happen. She stood on our shoulders and she didn't share. So she's irrelevant. And so we don't talk about her. But she may be a nice person aside from that. I think she's a nice person aside from that. But for women's boxing, nah, baby girl. No. Michael Orr chimes in and says, all pound P for P lists are bought. It's a joke. No consistency. Right, Michael? Yeah, that's what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm not trying to be friends with nobody. I got enough friends. Right? And that's the thing that I despise about women's boxing, especially when I was in women's boxing. You just couldn't get nobody to say nothing real. I be talking to people, oh yeah, and they be saying that flaky bullshit because they want to be everybody's friend. They don't want to cross or rub nobody else the wrong way because you could get blackballed real quick, right? Because everyone's fighting over the same crumbs. I think that's why Sugar never got many chances too, right? Because that's one thing. I would tell it like it is, even back when I was fighting. And a lot of phonies just low key would smile in my face, but would do their best to stop me and to close the door on me. But I came out of it with my faculties. And I still know this game. And my experiences still keep me solid while you still in the game fighting for crumbs and scraps. I'm still Sugar. About my father's business says, wow, I didn't know that. Well, now you know, baby. And you can always come and ask your Sugar about what It really is, and how it really goes down in women's boxing. Because, like I said, all of these other platforms, all of a sudden it's cute now. All of a sudden now it's in style now to talk about women's boxing, but they don't know shit about women's boxing. And somebody hands gonna always be in their pocket, and they gonna always try to be somebody's friend because they haven't walked the road. So they need to connect. They need to link in, right? I've walked the road. I've had the dust kicked in my face, right? So when I'm speaking, it ain't made up, and it's not gossip what I heard. This is shit that I know. I've lived it. Pathist has come in. Thank you, Pathist. Pathist has come in saying, didn't she go 24-0 though? Shouldn't that put respect on her name? Didn't she buy 24 wins? She didn't fight 24 killers. Check her record. That's one thing about BoxRec, right? You could check their record. Go on BoxRec, right? Her opponents were carefully picked. None of those opponents had a chance of beating her, much less putting a dent on her. I think Karen Bill surprisingly put her on her ass one time, and she was shocked about that, right? Because they had gotten disrespectful and thought that the women, the contenders in women's boxing wasn't real out here. So Karen Bill was an old school, old fighter, crone, okay? And when she fought Layla, tough. Styles make fights. So even when you look in male boxing back in the day, there was a certain style. So back in those times, because Layla was a big girl, but she boxed. She was on her toes. She was more agile. The women of that weight class, they were bangers. You was going to stand. They were just going to stand there, and you was going to go back and forth, give and take. That was the style. So that's also what made Layla Ali look so phenomenal. She looked like her daddy out there because the style. Okay, and she wasn't going back and forth like that, even though she could hit. Okay, I just think she should have did much. She could have did more, right? But she went in there because she wanted to hit a lick. She hit the lick and she got out. And like I said, that 24-0, that numbers game doesn't work. Pathis, and thank you for bringing this point to light. That numbers game in women's boxing, if they had an O, that shit is not authentic, especially back in the day, right? If they had an O, all of those fights were bought. They weren't fighting real contenders. They weren't fighting authentic women boxers who were out there, right? That's smoke and mirrors, right? The belts that they got were bought. They weren't real, right? Especially back in the day. If you ain't got no blemish, if there was not a blemish, you're not real. You did not fight real people. Pathis says, and do you think being Muhammad Ali's daughter gave her a heavy advantage in the ring? Just answer me this question. Who's going not vote for Muhammad Ali's daughter? Who's going to tell her that? Who's going to say she's a loser? Who's going to acknowledge that she got her ass whooped? Are you crazy? They'll never get a job in boxing again. You'll never work in this town again. You crazy. Pathis is political. Yeah. Right? If you score against Muhammad Ali's daughter, you'll never work in this town again. Hell yeah, it was a big ass advantage being Muhammad Ali's daughter in this game, in women's boxing. Laura Ramsey chimes in and says, "You may not know, I signed a contract to fight Ali in Johannesburg, South Africa with Tom Loeffler, but somebody reneged. Still a mystery." I mean, I may not be on the level of Sherlock, but I can guess, champ Laura Ramsey, if you didn't renege and it was two mofos that was going to sign the fight, I'm assuming the other broad reneged. And what was her name? What's her name? Layla Ali. You know how many contracts that broad reneged on? How many real people she ran out on? So she could say, because this is the story. Oh, I offered them a contract. It just didn't work out. These lames, because that's some lame shit. That's what she said about Ann Wolf. And I mean, this is some lame shit. We'll send a bullshit contract with all the wrong things on the contract. You'd be an idiot to sign and fight them for the thing. And when you don't sign off on the contract and say, yeah, I'll take the fight because it's a bullshit contract, they said, oh, I offered her to fight and she didn't take it. That's what these flaky ass lames do out here. Trust me. Yeah, I've had a couple, right? I can't even name no names, but Laura Ramsey, the champ, is on my platform solidifying that story, right? Girl, listen, you got to come back so we could chat. You need to come back so we could talk this talk. Okay, I ain't gonna catch you off guard, Laura, but I need you on here so we could talk that thing. Okay, you out of it, so you don't need no more friends. Let's talk. I would have loved to see a fight between Laura Ramsey and Layla Ali, right? Because that 24-0, that 24-0 wouldn't exist. Laura Ramsey was a real one. Laura Ramsey also comes in to say, I think it was 45K with a 75K rematch. So I signed. You're damn straight. I would have signed too. And somebody reneged. It wasn't Laura Ramsey, right? So Laura Ramsey was willing to even step in the ring to fight for money. Like these 45K, like if the shit, if the tickets don't sell, if money that, like that's your ass, right? Laura Ramsey, right, had enough heart to say, oh yeah, I'll sign up. Hell yeah, I'm a fight. And the other broad said, oh, I'm not confident. No, that's too, I don't think I believe I can win that fight for 45K. I don't think I could win that fight. 75K. A rematch means I'm gonna have to go back in there with her. Isn't it? Right? So if you believe in yourself, shit. Or if you know you real and you solid, you know what I'm saying? If I'm supposed to be the legend that I am, if my daddy the legend, then you're damn hell yeah. Sign me up. Somebody reneged. But okay. And Laura Ramsey comes back in and said it was back in 2006. All right, so it's back in the times where she was fresh. She was fresh into Greece. There's no reason why there was no reason why there was a renegation. Renegation. There's no reason, right? You're hot. This is the time. Laura Ramsey was a great contender, right? With a good amateur background. You supposed to be one of the best, the daughter of the greatest. You making all this money, you getting all of our attention, right? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you entertain that? Because it would have been a real fight. And when you in a real fight, at the end of the day, it ain't going to be, it's going to be guaranteed that somebody ass finna get whipped. Okay? And a lot of these broads out here want guarantees that it ain't going to be me. I'm not going to get my ass whooped, right? But us real women who behave badly, we willing to take that shot. Like, I might get my ass whooped, but it's going to be a fight nonetheless. And I'm willing to put my money, and I'm willing to put that chance and bet on me. Right? That's why women's boxing is such a beautiful sport. I don't care what these punk like any person who says, "Oh, I don't think women should be fighting and the talent pool of women and all this." Shut your ass up. You don't know what's out here. There are like 25 women registered. Come on now. Women are fighting out here. You don't know what's out here. You don't know the potential of these women who are fighting out here, right? You don't have nothing to say about women, fighters, and fighting out here. You haven't walked the road. You don't know what our climate is. You don't know what our terrain and our jungle is. Shut your ass up, sit down, and learn something from us. Aries Zodiac Boxing says, women are making more cha-ching money now in boxing, and if that becomes the sole focus, just like the men, it will get stale and fail. Hopefully not, though. I missed you, sweet chocolate. And then you ended it with that. Huh? I got some, listen, stop it. Because I do got some sweet chocolate. But back, yes, you are right, Aries Zodiac Boxing. You're right, because these punk asses, they're not even trying to fight for the good money that they are getting. They're not trying to fight. A lot of these broads out here are not even trying to fight because they don't realize how good they have it. Women boxers and but there's money in women's boxing now. But the contenders and the talent and you know they're not developed. The quality isn't there. So I want us to get to where, because it's possible and they are out there. These contenders are out there where we're paying for the right fights. The money is worth it. Right? Because a lot of these broads are getting free rides. The work is grueling. It's hard work to be a woman boxer. It's hard. And to be real and to be good, it's hard work. Right? The right ones need to be paid for that hard work. And I missed you too, Aries. About my father's business chimes in and says, Love to see your show blow up and attract more actual women boxers to chime in like Laura Ramsey. Right? You spitting about my father's business, like your ass is spitting tonight. I like it. Bars. Yes. Let's blow this up. Let's let this be the platform, right? Let's let this be the show where the real broads can come on here and we really talk, right? And let this be a valid platform. So, it the authenticity will keep the value in our industry, because the other stuff that's going on right now, if people are paying attention to that, it will crash and burn. I'm telling y'all right now, we got Laura Ramsey on the show chiming in. Okay? We got a real one chiming in. Okay? I don't know how many real ones take the time to chime in on these other shows. I ain't paid her for this. Okay? You don't know how emotional I am right now, Laura. Right? Because I got mad respect for you. Along with some other broads in this game, but for real. Laura Ramsey says, I have few pro-women fighters that have stories to tell you, Sugar. Send them this way. Send them this way. This is where we get a chance to talk about it. Send them this way. Right? Let's talk about it. Ain't no sugarcoating here. And only real ones get the mic. Michael Orr says, definitely, that's an amazing idea. Laura Ramsey could sound off Chevelle Hellback. Listen, yo, if Chevy chime in, it's over. If Chevy chime in, it's over, yo. It's a wrap, yo. Huh? Clarissa Taz Brown. Yo, little Clarissa who's climbing the ranks. All right, then. I want to hear from her. Naomi Bost. What? Alicia Acero. Come on now. I don't know. Stevie Morgan. Not familiar. Maria Dominguez. Y'all, Laura, I don't know. You used to fight back when Domingo was fighting, though. You know Domingo? She an old school fighter. Michael Orr says, I know Carice Brown. What you need to do, Mike Orr, is she's an up and coming. You need to shine, give her some shine. That's an up and coming right there. I remember when she was like a little dusty, crusty one. And she looking good out there now, Laura. I ain't saying no shame. I don't mean no shame, because I love the come up. I love the come up. Michael Orr says, I'll bring her to you, Sugar. All right, then. Yo, let me tell y'all something. Laura Ramsey said, check your inbox. All right, I will. Listen, Laura. Okay? Yo, just listen. You just don't even understand. 2002, like you made 2002. I didn't even know this podcast was going to reach it like this. Y'all, we out here. Okay. I got a champ on my show. Michael Orr says, I'm going TK profile her on Female Friday Knuckle Up. Yes. Yes. Yes, she's got a great story. And remember, I always said this, and I say this, it ain't about the belts, it ain't about the number, it's about the broad. And Clarice Taz Brown, that broad, she's got a story. You really, she's interesting. She's got a story. And I would love for y'all to give her some shine. I'd love for her to go up to Canada and get some action up there. Y'all make it happen, right? Make it happen. I would love to be at ringside to see that shit and talk about it. But y'all, it's getting real late. It's like like this is a long show, and I didn't even get to talk about that. Listen, I got to talk about this. I got to say this, okay? So we talked about the 4-0 fighter that's fighting for a WBA title. Come on now, right? We got to stop the bull jive, right? Um, Fighting sub 10 opposition. Has only fought 4-0 and has only fought sub, so she ain't even fought 4 killers. Okay, now the person, the whistleblower on this one, talking about she's 40 years old fighting for the WBA. That's where you got me. That's where you got me fucked up. Okay, so what? She's 40. So what? I don't count nobody out. I don't count anybody out. If a fighter is 40 years old, if a broad is 40 years old, and she feel like she can do something in this game, she could try. Give her a shot, right? We're not putting that out there. We're not putting that type of energy out here, right? This isn't male boxing, right? A 40-year-old male boxer, maybe, right? But we still women behaving badly out here, right? So she could be 40 out here if she want to. And she could be 4-0 at 40 if she want to. But what she not going to do is try to be no damn world champion with only 4 fights. No. You got to respect. She's being disrespectful. And what we want to do is we want to stay and be respectful in this game. Okay? I got another one that I want to share with y'all. Oh, but Aries Zodiac Boxing says, we need real people to stand up, and we are outnumbered by casuals that know nothing about boxing. The women need to be heard and not spoken for by greedy promoters. Change is needed for sure. Ooh. Listen, that's y'all getting real sexy on here. That was real sexy what you just said. Yes. Yes. We need, like Laura Laura Ramsey says, we need a platform where the real ones can tell the real stories, right? And like right now, all of these women who are so-called champions and baddies or whatever are they don't even have a voice out here. How you want to be bad and not even have your own voice, right? These guys are speaking for them. These promoters and managers are speaking for them, right? You're in a business, you're in a game that you can't even speak for yourself. You're not bad out here. You are remote control. You controller, like you want some being remotely controlled. No, we need real baddies out here, right? We need really real baddies out here, right? A real baddie in this business is she knows what she's signing up for. She's able to speak for herself, and any manager and promoter is there to assist her. But she will be vocal in talking about what she's going to do in this game and getting what she need out of this game. Laura Ramsey says, one more, Destiny Day Owens. All right, well, listen, Laura, I don't know, these sounding like some sub 10 broads, okay? Right? But if you want to give them, we'll give them some shout out, we'll give them some shine or whatever, off the strength of you, champ. Off the strength of you. But if they sub 10, right, unless they fighting killers or unless I'm seeing the work out here, I ain't going to give it to them. Not like that. It ain't that. Laura, you know, it's just you got to work hard. You got to work hard to impress me. Right? Michael Orr says, I second the motion, Sugar. Wait, I second the motion. Sugar should be the official publicist for the Women's Boxing Championship Series. Listen, it's getting real sexy on here. It's like I'm hot. It's getting hot in here and take off. Oh, listen, it's getting real hot because y'all speaking my language. I'm getting really hot and bothered in the good way. Michael Orr, I like what I like the talk you talking. Talk to me nice. Laura Ramsey said, I already know. All right, champ. Michael Orr says, correction, publicist. Well, whatever you talking, I like what you saying, Michael Orr, right? But I gotta let me say this, okay? Because this one hurt my feelings. This one hurt, and we gotta get this funkiness out. All right. So this is what this has happened. And this has happened on several occasions, but this happened to a real fighter, like a real, I would say a real gem in the women's boxing industry. Okay. Um, it's this person has devoted a lot of their time and who they are and their knowledge to women's boxing when it wasn't cute or sexy. Okay, been around for all this time, and I don't like how I don't like how my people got dragged in this situation. So before I say, I'm not going to say the name on my platform, right? But anytime this name crosses my desk, it's going to be red lined, right? Because you don't do dirty business like this, okay? So this manager slash representative says, this manager representative helped a woman boxer get a review by the IBF because she went down to I believe she went down to Mexico and got robbed out of a title, out of her chance at getting the title. Okay. um and so the he's a women's boxing advocate, right? He doesn't really manage anybody, but he if you need help, he's the one to go to. Okay. He helped this fighter get an appeal, right? And due to this robbery decision, the IBF agreed to order a mandatory rematch. Okay. This representative even got the IBF to waive the $5,000 belt fee because you want pay them their money, right? So he got them to say, listen, all right, homegirl got robbed. We'll let her try it. We'll let her fight for this title again. Okay? And that title's to pay for the belt. Okay? This this representative also got this same woman boxer a 3-fight deal with a prominent promoter in the industry. Let me tell you what this stankin' broad did. She turned around after all the work that this representative did for her, turned around and said, after all the phone calls, all the long distance, all the time, she turns around and said that now she has a manager and her team's got it from here. This is after she initially told the representative, right, my guy, that she didn't have any representatives. She cried to him because she needed help. right? And she gave him permission to work on her behalf, right? After he did all of that, instead of following through, because I'm not saying that you were stuck working with him, right? But let him benefit from the work he did for you. That's really bad business, right? So all of the work that this representative did for this stankin' broad, yeah, I called you stank because what you did was real dirty and stank. You kick him out and he gets nothing for the work that he did for you. Karma's the biggest bitch in women's boxing. Okay? So, you're going to get what you deserve. Okay? And I wish you all the best, lady, in what you do. Because if it doesn't catch up to you now, it'll surely catch up to you later. Because karma is the biggest winner, especially in women's boxing. Okay? So, I had to mention that because that one hurt. Okay? I'm not going to say the name on here. I'm not going to say the name on here, but a fighter like me, I remember back when I was fighting, I would have loved for somebody to do that for me. And there you have somebody to do that for you without you putting your mouth on nothing, without you having to pay for nothing, without you having to give nothing but your word. And you couldn't even do that. Disgusting. I had to get my Kermit on and sip some tea with this one though. So while you blowing, this person who blew the whistle on the 4-0 fighter, who's 40 years old, fighting for a world title, I also want to say this. I remember there was a time that your fighter, who you love so much, right, was playing the same game. She wasn't that great, and she wasn't busting a grape in this industry, in the field. Okay? Now she worked hard and she looking good now. And I like her. I like her moxie. I like her determination. I like her resilience. But when she first started, she was weak. She was weak as hell. Okay? And she was playing the same game. Right? She was buying her way through. And you was helping her. You was putting her in these situations. Right? Now you want to blow the whistle. So I want to say this. If you want to blow the damn whistle, blow the whistle on yourself too. All right? Because we're trying to clear it all out. Right? We're trying to clear all of these shenanigans out. Right? But when you're talking about who deserves and all of this and all of that while you was playing the same game back in the day, you can't talk about who deserves anything. What I would like for you to do is call the names and go and work for those who actually deserve these opportunities that you're thinking the WBA is shunning deserving contenders out of, right? Whistleblowers, they don't really in this game, you knew it, you played the game, they just get ignored, right? Do some work for us out here, us real ones out here, right? Work for that contender that does deserve that shot and that opportunity. Get her that shot with the WBA so we can get this 4-0 bullshit out the way. I mean it's just I got stories. I got stories about the same thing. That's just the nature of the beast of the industry. Aries Zodiac Boxing says, I watched some of your fights and I gave you a tribute on my channel. Oh, I'd love to see that. You got to give me the link for that channel, baby. Real, recognize real. And that's who I vibe with. Politics kills anything that has substance. And I really love what you're doing. Thank you, Aries Zodiac Boxing. You hear the tremor in my voice. You get me emotional. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate that tribute that you've given me. I would have loved to seen it, right? Connect me with that too. Drop the link or let me know when you shouting out sugar. I would love to come. I would love to come on your channel. Or listen, y'all go to Aries Zodiac Boxing channel and see what they got going on. Aries Zodiac Boxing also says opportunists will step on anyone to get ahead. They learn the hard way when they come across an opportunist that's even more cutthroat than they are. And we have in church in here. And let the church say, Amen. Ra. Amen. Okay, that's some gospel right there. Opportunists will step on anyone to get ahead, and they learn the hard way when they come across an opportunist that's even more cutthroat than they are. I call it karma. And I'm going to end, well, I'm not going to end just yet because I want to share this with y'all. Okay. Um, a key person in Sugar's life has recently passed away and gone to join another beautiful person where wonderful people go when they depart from this world. My boxing dad, well, not even boxing dad, my boxing godfather, Buddy Davis, who is the founder of the Georgia Amateur Boxing Association, recently passed away. And it has touched my heart because you don't realize how what good you have until it's gone. Okay, and I'm not sure where Georgia Amateur Boxing is going to go now that Buddy Davis and Bo Davis are passed on, because they devoted their lives and they did some good stuff, and they're the reason. I'm getting emotional. They're the reason why Sugar had a chance. Bo Davis, my boxing godmama, would always say, y'all take care of my Nat. She was the first one to actually call me Sugar. You take care of my Sugar, my Nat, right? And she was the only person I would let call me Nat. Same thing with my godfather, Bo Davis. So they're together now. Beautiful couple. They're a part of who I am, and I'm so grateful. And I'm saying this on my platform to their families. Thank you for sharing them with me, Sugar. And y'all are in my prayers. I am so grateful for the gift of Mr. Buddy Davis and Mrs. Bo Davis. Michael Orr says, my condolences and thank you. Trifine Scott chimes in and says, Sugar will not be back down from speaking the truth. My condolences to you, Sugar. Thank you, Miss Trifine Scott. Thank you. Thank you. About my father's business says, sorry to hear that, Sugar. My condolences. Thank you all for your condolences. Thank you. Thank you. I don't really share much about um I don't really share too much, right? But I share what counts. And I thank y'all. I thank y'all for caring, and I thank y'all um, for giving me that condolence, the assurity that um, y'all want me to have some comfort in this time. Um, So I'm gonna wrap it up, y'all. It's a 2 hour show, and I had so much fun. I ain't even gonna lie. This is one of the funner shows. I always have fun, but thank you all for chiming in. Thank you all for chiming in, and I'm gonna give the shout outs now. Okay, so Michael Orr, thanks for chiming in. NUMJ4, so NumJ4, thank you for chiming in from Finland at 3 a.m. I know you sleep now. I hope you're having some sweet dreams. My guys at Talk and Fight, okay? Thank you. Let's see who else chimed in. Thank you, Miss Trifine Scott, for dropping in with that feminine energy. Okay. Thank you, Omar Johnson, for always keeping it up on the up and up and telling everybody to like, subscribe, and share to the sugar. Share this sugar. Um, okay, Eddie Barrington. Thank you, Eddie Barrington, for chiming in. It's always good to feel your energy in this place, even though it's through the cyber, right? I feel it. I feel it. Um, Thank you to my host for chiming in with the facts and the education about my father's business. You know it. You know how we go and what we do. Thank you for chiming into my show. And for spitting that game and that chess and checkers thing, right? And making it sexy on here. Um, Thank you. Let's see who else. Thank you, Ceddy Bear. Thank you, Cedric Sports Training, for checking in. One of the baddest generals in the game. I'm telling you, like, I got some official people dropping in. Like, I don't have, like, these are not schmucks. These are like legit people in this game, okay? You ain't gonna see that nowhere else. And I got to say, the champ, Laura Ramsey, check her record. Thank you, champ, for chiming in. Thank you for the shout out. Thank you for blessing me with your energy, right? You just don't even understand, right? When you have a real one dropping in, I feel like like I'm doing something out here. Thank you. And I didn't even pay her. I didn't even ask her. She dropped in. Like, this is what it is. This is that respect. This is where I wanted it to be, and it's at there. Aries Zodiac Boxing. Mwah! Thank you. Thanks for chiming in, baby. I missed you, and thank you for coming back to see me. Thank you, Pathist, for dropping that knowledge and bringing to the light about that number game. I thank you for allowing me to clear that up. Okay. Who else? Who else? Did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I missed anybody. Aries Zodiac Boston saying peace and blessings to you, sugar. Wishing you all of the best. Smile for me, love. I can't help it. I got to smile. Y'all make me feel good, even when it ain't so good. And I thank you for that. So I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Check out the Female Fridays. We got a good one coming, a good spotlight coming. Okay, with Taz Brown. Okay, you know she got to be a badass if they calling her Taz out here. Okay, if I'm not chiming in, because I want to try, listen. I think I'm gonna try to catch that drop in on that show. I think I'm gonna drop in for that show. But if I don't see y'all, like, subscribe, share this sugar, and I will see y'all next Wednesday. Be safe And y'all in America, enjoy your turkey time. Bye bye.